What is good, everyone? So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the entire roadmap step by step to $10,000 a month and how you can get there as well. Now, it took me 4 years to get here, 4 years before I hit my first 10K a month, but obviously it doesn't have to take you 4 years, right? I will basically make you speed run it and, basically share everything I've ever learned about it, everything I've ever been taught, and basically how I would do it if I were to start over again. So you can get there as fast as humanly possible. So if you want to hit $10,000 a month in trading, well, just watch the entire video, take some notes, and let's get into it. So $10,000 a month is what everyone wants to achieve. But how do we get there? What's required and how do we do it? Well, that's what I'm going to be breaking down. So let's get into it, right? So first of all, there's two routes. Well, first of all, you actually have to know that in trading, you need capital in order to make capital. You need money in order to make money. That's just how it is. Nothing is free. You can't make $1 million in trading or 10K a month if you got, $0 to your name. That's just how it is, right? Now, you can either go two routes, okay? You can go the live capital straight off the bat, or you can go prop capital, okay? So live or prop. Now, most people go prop, which is also the probably the best thing to do for 99.9999% of traders, right? But if you got more than 25K to invest, well, go up and open up a live account and then go compound your trading capital from there, right? Your equity and balance curve is going to look something like this. This is your money. This is the time it's going to take, and it's going to be an exponential growth like that, exponential curve, right? Because let's say you make, 10% per month on your live capital. That's, let's say you got a 10K account. Let's just write it down, 10K. Then that equals to 1K, right? Now you add 10K plus 1K, that's 11K, right? And then you make 10% on 11K account, that's 1.1K. And then you add 1.1K on 11K, that's 12.1K. And you kind of get the idea. That's just basic compounding. But most people obviously don't have 25K to invest, which is completely normal. That's where prop firms come into play. And that's basically the whole prop scene. Like, it's the best way to gain capital and to gain capital to scale your live account later down the road, which we will get into, right? So you can put money aside from your payouts to open up a live account and then compound it from there, but also leverage and scale and manage multiple accounts. And we'll get into all of that good stuff later on. But now, if you have less than 25K to invest, go prop route, which then you have to ask yourself, do you have more than $500 to your name or $500 to invest? If you don't have it, go get a job, go flip burgers at McDonald's or do something, okay? That's the harsh truth. Nobody wants to get a job nowadays, but if you don't even have $500 to your name, at least $500, go get a job, go acquire some funds, in some kind of way, okay? You need money in order to make money in trading. You need capital in order to make capital, right? But if you've got more than $500, well, that's where the fun starts to begin, right? You can now buy a prop firm challenge. So if you're trading on futures, you can buy 250K accounts. That's around $300 maximum, right? Because I've seen on Apex, it's way cheaper than that, but maximum $300. If you're on Forex, right? If you're trading Forex, you can buy one 200K account. That's around $350 to $400. I just put $400 just to round it up. And yeah, I mean, then how do we still make 10K a month with trading if you're on a 300K or 200K account? Well, it's pretty simple. We just need to make 3 hours a month, right? If you don't know what 3 hours a month is, it's basically 3 times the amount you're risking. So if you're risking 1 to 2% per trade, so let's break it down here actually, right? If you're trading futures, risk 1.5% per trade, because the max daily drawdown typically tends to be lower than on Forex, right? If you're trading Forex, risk 2% per trade. That's pretty doable. I mean, you're probably not going to blow the account by risking 1.5 or 2% per trade, right? Now, 1.5% on a 300K account, that equals to 4.5K per trade if you're trading futures. On a 200K account, right? 2%, not 20, 200K account, 2%, that's $4,000 per trade. Obviously, also don't breach their rules. Prop firms, I can't lie, prop firms are like playing a casino, right? But once you've got that edge in prop firms, once you know how to play the game, how to leverage it, how to scale it, that's when you can make a shit ton of money in, okay? So it's all a game. Prop firms are honestly just a game, right? And you need to learn the rules. You need to go under their rules. So that means not breaching the rules, right? So if you're trading Forex, just, watch out for any hidden rules. Watch out for news trading. Can you trade red folder news? Can you trade high impact news or orange folder news? And is there any hidden rules? Is there any trade length rules or something dumb like that, right? They're obviously making money whenever you lose money. So you have to be inside the rules. You have to, do your research before joining a prop firm. That's just a general life like advice, right? Before you buy anything, do your research on it. Go over the rules. Go over the, kind of segments or guidelines, whatever they have, right? And go over that. So if you're trading futures, watch out for the max daily drawdown and watch out for trailing drawdown. Kind of speaks for itself. If you buy anything, do your research before buying it, right? But still, 3 hours a month. Well, let's do the math here, right? On futures, 3 hours, if you're risking 4.5K, as I said, 3 hours. So R just means risk to reward, basically. So it's just whatever you're risking times 3, right? So if you're risking 4.5K per trade, multiplied by 3, and that's $13,500 a month on futures, right? On Forex, it's 3.4K. If you're risking 4K per trade, that's 2% per trade. That's $12,000. And after profit split on both futures and on Forex, that's way above $10,000 a month in trading. But that sounds way easier said than done. But how do we still get there? And how do we make 3 hours a month? Well, you have to become profitable. It is that simple. And this is the most time consuming part of it, right? But how do we get profitable? Well, we have a proven profitable edge slash strategy. You have your psychology and mindset on point, and you're consistent, disciplined, and patient. Okay. Now, I just want to clarify this. It doesn't matter which strategy you use. Okay. You can use ICT, SMC, SRC, breakout, liquidity, break and retest. It doesn't matter. You can use my strategy. It doesn't matter. Just use a strategy that you like, that works for you as an individual trader, because something might work for you that doesn't work for me or someone else. And something might work for someone else that doesn't work for you. That's just how trading is. Everything is individual, right? Now, you also have to have your psychology and mindset on point. This is about 80. It's so cliche, I know, but it's about 80% psychology and 20% technicals, right? That's just how it is. I mean, it sounds so cliche. You probably heard it 1,000 times, but it is honestly true, because I could give a homeless man the best strategy in the entire world. Like, I'm talking about a 99% win rate strategy with a good risk to reward as well. But if the homeless man doesn't have his psychology and mindset on point, if he's over trading, if he is over leveraging, if he's revenge trading, if he's feeling FOMO, if he's feeling greed, or stuff like that, he will never become profitable. It is that simple. So you have to have your psychology and mindset on point. Delete that FOMO, delete having, needing to trade, revenge trading, over trading, fear, FOMO, greed, all that stuff. Delete that, eliminate all your emotions in your trading. Have your proven profitable strategy, and then be consistent, disciplined, and patient with it, okay? Now, that's basically the 3 pillars of becoming profitable. You have to do all these 3 things in order to get to here, right? But once you get there, you can make 3 hours a month. So once you get profitable, you can make 3 hours a month. Once you can make 3 hours a month, you can make $10,000 a month easily, okay, with prop firm capital. Now, if you can make 10%, or I mean, not 10%, but 10K a month, right, with prop firm capital, well, there's nothing stopping you from making 20, 30, $40,000 a month, because it's the exact same skill that got you 10K a month that will now get you to 20, 30, and 40K a month, right? You just scale, leverage, and compound it, right? So as I said, if you can make 10% on a 10K account, that's 1K. Then you can also make a 10% on an 11K account, that's 1.1K. Then you can also make 10% on a 12.1K account, and so on, right? So now we just scale, leverage, and compound it, meaning you use a trade copier. So if you're trading futures, there's Ninja Traders, there's building copiers on Top Step, I know this. And if you're trading Forex, there's social traders tools, and there's other softwares as well, right? But as I said, if you can make 3 hours on a 200K or 300K account, you can make 3 hours on a 600K or 900K account. And do you see, it's just 3 times multiplied, right? It's the exact same skill, it's just on higher capital, right? And if you can make, let's say 10K, then you can make 30K, because it's just the exact same skill on a 200 to 300K account versus a 600 to 900K account. It's all the same 3 hours, right? That's it, 3 hours, right? And let's do the math again. Well, as I said, 3 times 4.5K on futures, if you're risking 1.5% per trade, that's $13,500. But now you just multiply it by 3. So you use a trade copier to trade copy it over to 3 other accounts, which is now $40,500 a month. And on Forex, 3.4K, that's $12,000 times 3 because you're on 3 different 200K accounts. So $600,000 in capital in total. That's $36,000 a month, right? And the office profit split, it's anywhere between 35K to 40K, and you can kind of go from there, right? But anyways, well, that's basically it. But the whole fundamentals are here, right? You have to have a proven profitable strategy and edge. You have to have your psychology on point, and you have to be consistent and disciplined and patient with it. And that's where I come in to help, right? I can help you get there, obviously. I've got a one-on-one mentorship that helps you with this, that goes very in depth with all of these 3 things, which is the fundamentals, right? In order to get to, because you can't do anything, like you can't do all of this without this, if that makes sense. You have to have the fundamentals. You have to become profitable first in order to make 3 Rs. In order to make 3 Rs, after you make that, you can make 10K. After you make 10K, you can make 36 to 40K account, or not account, but per month with PropFirm Capital. So if you're interested in getting my help, if not, obviously, then don't. But I've got a link in the description. I've got a one-on-one mentorship. There's limited spots. So let me know by clicking that and applying for that. And if you're a good fit, we can start, discussing further details. But anyways, that's the entire roadmap right here. First of all, become profitable, then make 3 hours a month. Then you're at 10K a month on a 200 to 300K account, right? While risking 1.5 to 2% per trade. Once you're at 10K a month, you can make 30 to 70, no, not 70, but 30 to 40K per month while using a trade copier. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you're interested in getting help with becoming consistently profitable, becoming, getting a proven profitable strategy, or fixing your current strategy and getting your psychology and mindset on point and be consistent, disciplined, and patient, well, click the link in the description. I'm here to help you, right? There's limited spots and it'll probably close soon. But if the link is still there, it's still valid, right? It's still open. Well, anyways, that's the video. I hope you guys liked it. I will see you guys in the next video.